objective of this session would be these three young officers will be sharing their first-hand experience of field training, field experience, what type of difficulties, what type of challenges did they face in public administration in the field, what out-of-the-box thinking did they make, what out-of-the-box solutions did they incorporate, and what type of latest innovations and initiatives did they implement in their respective jurisdiction. To start with, I'll invite here first Mr. T. Bhoobalan, CEO of Bagalkote Zila Panchayat.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to participate in the Elets Summit because I have attended a lot of summits in the past, but participating in Elets Summit is something special because we get to meet a lot of officials from different states and different sectors, and the kind of knowledge that I gain here is quite useful for my career progression. So I thank Elets, especially Ravi Gupta ji and his team for inviting me here once again. And today the concept of the session is transformation. So transformation is a continuous process, and it should not only be continuous, it should also be sustainable. So sustainable in the sense how it will be sustaining means it has to adopt the current realities and it has to adjust to the present trend. So I am going to talk about the experience that I have in Bagalkote district in the water sector. And if I have to tell about Bagalkote district, it's a typical rural district. So how we have transformed Bagalkote district from a water deficit district to a water surplus district, that's what I'm going to present to you here. Next slide, please. So a basic introduction about Bagalkote district. It's located in the northern Karnataka region, which is traditionally the backbone of Karnataka's agriculture sector, and it's blessed with lot of rivers, especially Krishna basin, and also its tributaries like Gadaprabha and Malaprabha. Even in this scenario also, like before some 2-3 years, the water deficit was so high, and we have to use the tankers during the summers, and we have to drill lot of bore wells every year, which was further exhausting the existing groundwater. So we have started a project on war-food basis to rejuvenate the water bodies in the district and to improve the groundwater storage. And in our district there are more than 150 tanks, and we have also lot of ancient wells, because Bagalkote, if you are aware, it is the capital of the ancient Chalukya kingdom. So there are a lot of ancient water bodies which were left unattended. So we thought of rejuvenating those ancient water bodies too. And there are a lot of other open wells which were not getting enough water due to the depleting water levels in the groundwater. So what were the issues that were causing to this particular situation? The main issue was encroachment. So if we have some 150 tanks, most of them were under encroachment, mainly by the farmers. Though not all the tanks were having encroachments in the type of buildings or other concrete structures, most of the tanks were encroached by farmers as an agricultural purpose. So they were cultivating in the tank area, and they were diverting the water to a different place through channels, though not like natural channels. They were creating their own channels and all, because of which the water was not penetrating the nearby small water bodies, because of which the groundwater has depleted, and this has caused to inadequate water supply to the flora and fauna. So the ecosystem also was suffering because of this issue, and due to the less water availability, the agriculture productivity has also suffered, and drinking water issue, as I have already mentioned, there were huge issues, some of which has led to law and order issues as well. And since it is a agrarian district, the recreational facilities were also not taken care of. So we have taken up the project of rejuvenating the water bodies and the sustained efforts to have all these issues resolved. And the project has the below components which I will be explaining to you through photographs. So removal of encroachments, then surveying and fencing of the water bodies, desiltation as well as deseeding, then the bund strengthening exercises, water channel protection, then the catchment areas improvement, then improving the flora and fauna, and how to create recreational activities for the society. And we had to depend upon lot of funds, because since it is taken up at a large scale for the entire district covering more than 150 tanks, lot of funds was required, both from the central government and state government. We have used a lot of funds in addition to the CSR funds. So main source of our funds was the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, which is called as NREGA. Then we have the Finance Commission funds, 14 Finance and 15 Finance. Then we have used the own resources of the Gram Panchayats, and also the funds received to the CSR activities, as well as the local area development funds given by the honorable MPs and MLAs. So as I have already told, the removal of encroachment was the first important task that we have undertaken. This has also a lot of issues, because there will be like political issues, there will be issues from the agrarian sector, law and order issues. So we have to overcome all of these issues. So out of 150 plus tanks in our district, some 89 were under encroachments. And most of them were in the nature of farmlands. Some of them were having some concrete structures also, or temporary sets kind of stuff. So we had to remove all those encroachments. And now almost the entire district tanks have been free of encroachments. So we have used the funds given by our Zila Panchayat and Taluka Panchayat, which is earmarked for the tank development. Then once the encroachment is removed, we have to ensure that the water bodies are not encroached again. So we have to properly fence the water bodies, which we have undertaken through the Finance Commission funds and some through the NREGA funds also. So for fencing, we have to do a proper survey, because we can't change the boundaries of the water bodies again and again. It will create a lot of issues. So we have undertaken a proper survey of all the water bodies, and we have fenced the water bodies. After the fencing, we have also concentrated on the bund strengthening, because once the bund is not strengthened, it will lead to the breach of the tank. It will also cause the water to be lost either due to natural disasters or through the illegal activities of some people. So we have concentrated on bund strengthening, which was done only through NREGA activities, NREGA funds. Then next comes the desiltation. So the water bodies have to be desilted in a frequent manner, like once in 3 years at least we have to desilt. Otherwise, the capacity, holding capacity of the water bodies will be reduced so much. So the desiltation exercises are happening every year, and we are continuing with it. So earlier the desiltation process was done in an unscientific manner in some places, not everywhere. Like the silt will be removed from one place and it will be dumped in the another place of the same water body. So when rain comes again, the silt will come back to the water body. So we have removed the silt and we have sent it to faraway places where we were facing issues like waterlogging and all. And we have used the silt in the places of where we were developing the community parks and gardens in the rural areas. And even we have asked the farmers to take the silt, because it is having high content of nutrients, which is good for productivity of the agriculture productivity. So voluntarily, lot of farmers have also taken this silt to their farmlands. Then the improvement of water channels. So the water channels have to be properly maintained. Otherwise, if you can see in the photograph at the left hand side, the channels will be blocked and the water may be diverted to the nearby farmlands, and sometime the farmers will also be suffering because of the entering of the water into their farmlands. So we have properly removed all these weeds and all the bushes in the water channels, and we have repaired the leakages, if any, in the water channels. So if you can see that we are creating a sustainable water channels. Earlier the pitching work was not being done, and now pitching has been done in most of the water channels in the district. Then check dams. Check dams have to be constructed in proper distances. The purpose of check dams is to have water holding in that particular area, so that the groundwater will be improved, groundwater storage will be improved, and also it will also benefit to the nearby people, because they will take this water for their household purposes. The cattle that they are rearing, those cattle will also be benefited because of such structures in the course of the water channel. And also it will also help for the nearby flora and fauna that is available in those area. And it will also restrict the flood during the rainy areas to the maximum extent. That's why the check dams are constructed in proper distancing. And the photo that you are seeing in the bottom is the check dam, where the design is called as multi-arch check dam. It was conceptualized by one of our seniors in Karnataka. So it has become a very successful model, and across the state this multi-arch check dam is being constructed because of its water holding capacity. Then the other activity, associated activity that we undertake is the plantation, because we have to concentrate on the afforestation activities, because it helps us in a lot of issues. For example, whether it is holding of the water, or whether it is prevention of soil erosion, or whether it is giving advantage to the flora or fauna. The tree plantation has to be taken in wherever area available. So we have planted around 10 lakh saplings in the past 2 years. Each year we have planted around 10 lakhs. So in the past 2 years already we have planted some 20 lakh saplings, and this year we are planning for another 10 lakhs as well. So the catchment area has to be improved as well, because the water that is being collected in the catchment area has to reach the water channels properly. So we have repaired all those catchment area, nalas and other streams which are reaching to the water channels. It is mainly done through NREGA, MGNREGA funds. And at last we have to concentrate on the recreational activities, because in rural area we don't get a lot of activities for the people to enjoy the nature or to understand the importance of nature. Only through recreational activities we can educate people through various activities about the importance of conservation of water as well as protection of the environment. So we have taken up recreational activities in and around these water bodies. For example, creating footpath for people to walk around, creating some play area for the children, creating open gym for the youth in that particular village. All these activities were also taken parallelly. So this is one picture. I'm not sure if you are able to see the number that is written on the wall of that particular reservoir in the right hand side. It was constructed way back in 1882. So it is a 140-year-old reservoir. So earlier it was not attended. If you can see, there was a large scale siltation which was accumulating in this particular water reservoir. So we have started the desiltation activity. Parallelly, we have started developing the area in and around this reservoir. So you can see some hillocks around the reservoir. So we have planted around 3 lakh saplings in this particular area alone. So this is the other part of the same like reservoir. So it was completely silted, and desiltation activity has to be undertaken in 2 different years, because due to rainy season and all, we were not able to do it continuously. So over a period of 2 years, we have completed the desiltation exercise. So this was taken recently. So most of the desiltation activity has been completed, and lot of water has started accumulating in that reservoir, which was otherwise wasted and creating flooding in the nearby area. So this is one of the lakes that we have rejuvenated. It is a place which was having like no lake at all. This was more or less a new lake that we have created adjacent to a city. Luckily, it was falling in the rural area, so we could use the MGNREGA funds. And the entire adjacent area was flooding, because water used to come from a channel, which was again like a channel coming from the nearby river. And the low-lying areas in the nearby city was also being flooded because of this particular issue. So we have identified a government land which was low-lying, and we have desilted that particular area, and we have created an artificial lake, man-made lake. And now the entire water is being made to float into that particular lake, because of which this year there was no flooding, and the good amount of water has been collected in that particular area, which has again helped the groundwater to recharge. So the overall outcome of the project to rejuvenate the water bodies in rural Bagalkote area include the comprehensive improvement and restoration of water bodies, because of which the groundwater has recharged to like a good level. There was a very good improvement in the groundwater levels, because earlier, even if we go beyond 1,000 feet also during drilling of borewells, it was difficult to find water. But now within like 200, 300 feet also, we are able to find groundwater. Then this has increased the availability of drinking water. And last year itself, we did not face any drinking water issue. We were not using any tanker or other artificial source of water. This year also, we have not used any additional resources like water tankers. So agricultural productivity has improved. Then the catchment areas have been improved, and because of which the flora and fauna has also benefited, and the environment has been benefited immensely. And we have involved the community also, because in MGNREGA we have lot of laborers working, and we have self-help group women working. So they also got a sense of conserving the nature. So that civic sense was inculcated in the people's mind, which has helped us in coordinating our efforts for various other activities like Swachh Bharat mission and all. And overall, this particular project has not only helped us in arresting the issues of water scarcity, but also has given a win-win situation for the people, the government, the environment, and also the district as a whole. So I would like to take this work forward in the district, in the urban areas also, with the help of Urban Development Department, because there are a lot of tanks in the urban areas also. So even when I was Corporation Commissioner earlier in Tumkur, we have rejuvenated many such water bodies. So now we are concentrating on the urban area water bodies in our district. It's all about my presentation. So I thank Elets once again for giving me this opportunity, and I am so happy to have given my views, and also I am eager to learn from my fellow participants in this program. Thank you all. Thank you so much.